Thanks for joining us for another email newsletter. Today we're meeting with Portage Township Trustee Jason Critchlow, and I just wanted to share with our viewers a little bit more about local government. So what can you teach us about what is a trustee? Let's start with that.
Sure. So, township trustees is an elected office. So, to know what a trustee is, you got to know what a township is. So, a township is a unit of government. So, you have Indiana,
Okay.
and then you have counties, and then within the counties, they created townships. The Indiana State Constitution did that. Now, you might say, I live in the city of South Bend or the city of Mishawaka, Granger, these other areas. Those are cities, towns, or areas that grew within the township. So, the township is the original local government, essentially. What the township, and I'm the trustee, so I'm the elected head of that government. So you can think of it like the executive of that government.
Okay.
The township has a 3-member board that I also work with that are all also elected the same year that I'm elected. They're elected to 4-year terms. I'm elected to a 4-year term. And you can kind of look at it as I'm the executive of the government and they are the financial oversight of the government. What the township does and focuses on really depends on where the township is, and there's a lot of reasons for that.
So I found your TikTok account, and there you talk a lot about the different services that the township offers. Can you elaborate on those?
I do. I talk a lot about services, and I really just try to answer basic questions about government in general, even if it has nothing to do with township government. But a couple of basic fundamental services that must be provided by a township are: one is township assistance. People who fall on hard times, are struggling to make ends meet, have the ability to apply for what's called township assistance. Shelter assistance, so rent, utility assistance, food, burial assistance, these type of things. And it's a state guided process, but there's a lot of autonomy how the township does that. 44% of our families are living at or below the ALICE threshold, so they're struggling to meet basic necessities. So if someone's having a hard time making rent, paying a utility bill, they have the ability to come and apply for assistance. There's a lot of rules around that.
Okay.
Another big thing that townships have to do is provide fire protection. So unless you live in a city, and then in which it's the city fire department, then it's likely, if you live anywhere outside of a city, it's likely that the township is providing your fire department for you in one form or another. There is no county fire departments. Those are run by the townships. So we are partnered with another township to create what's called a fire territory, and we provide fire protection for those areas. We'll make your community stronger. We have a senior center. We run a lot of different programs here. And so we have a food pantry. So there's a lot of different things our township does. But
all right, so let's say, I think a lot of us know family members who are falling on hard times right now, especially. How would someone find out if they qualify for these township services?
Yeah, it's very easy. It's very straightforward. So you have to come into our office and you have to fill out an application. And because of the antiquated laws of the state of Indiana, I actually have to get your actual physical signature on it. And you have to provide a lot of paperwork and information. We have to review your income. We have to make sure, we have to verify where you live and that, the children you claim to be in your house are your children. We also have to see your expenses. We actually have to review how you spent your money. Did you spend it correctly, appropriately? And it's called wasted resources. Again, that's a state mandated process.
Gotcha.
So you apply, then you meet with a caseworker. The caseworker calls you, does a quick interview, just asks you some questions, and they will determine your eligibility from there, and they will grant your assistance. Typically, we are able to turn those around within 24 hours, which is very fast. So that's one of the nice things about township government is there's no bureaucracy. It's not like a city or a county or a state. We are able to provide help to people and services to people very quickly.
Oh, that's great. All right, let's say you're one of the lucky people here that does not need these kinds of services but wants to help. Especially with SNAP not being covered in November. What would you recommend that other citizens do to assist our neighbors?
There's a lot of different ways people get involved. So you mentioned the SNAP disruption that's creating a crisis here. That's going to be hitting us. We're preparing for that. We have a food pantry. So we're collaborating with other food pantries in the community to deal with this crisis, but we always have a food pantry. So food pantries always need support. They always need volunteers. They always need help. We have opened the only permanent senior community center here in the city of South Bend. It's right in downtown. Always volunteer opportunities for seniors, not just volunteer opportunities, but we have a monthly photography class, we have art classes, we have knitting classes. a lot of that stuff are people just, somebody showed up and said, hey, I'm really good at this, or I do this for a living. I'd love to teach a class for the seniors on this. And suddenly it's a class every month. And that leads me to my big thing. Oftentimes is if people want to get involved in the community, they have an idea, bring me that idea. Let's talk about it. Maybe we can help that come to fruition. And so creating that synergy and collaborating with others, or just pointing people in the right direction, is a lot of what we can do to help people.
All right. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Yeah, absolutely.